morning and good luck. And welcome back to Good Luck with Gino, episode 54. I'm your host, Gino the Ghost, and welcome back to the fastest growing podcast in the world. If you're watching on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, well, first of all, you're not watching, are you? You're listening. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed, save it to your device, send it to a loved one. You should be watching, which is probably kind of like a little Freudian slip that I had, right? If you are watching, and you're watching on YouTube, which you should be, you're going to make sure you hit that like button. You're going to take your right hand, you're going to raise it above your head, and you're going to fucking smash that subscribe button with all your might. And then what you're going to do, you're going to go to Expedia.com, and you're going to look up flights to Saudi Arabia. Okay? Now, I'm not going to tell you how to fly. If you want to take a first-class flight, that's totally up to you. If you want to fly economy, whatever. Whatever's going to get you there the fastest, you're going to fly to Saudi Arabia. You're going to get there. When you get stopped at customs, this is very important. You're going to utter the word to the agent. You're going to grab the agent by his collar. You're going to pull him in, and you're going to say, number 7. Now, you're not going to know what that means now, but just remember it's important. He's going to kind of give you a bewildered look, pull you to the side. He's going to take you to another man named Nils Walid. Now, he's going to drive you to oil well number 7, which was discovered in 1938. And you're going to actually go into the manufacturing plant of the oil facility to meet a man named Al-Walid bin Talal. Okay? Now, he's the founder of Kingdom Holding Company, and he's the wealthiest oil baron in the world. He's going to actually take you into oil well number 7. Okay? And when you get in there, you're going to take your right hand and you're going to dip it into that oil well. You're going to get just a handful of that oil. Now, it's up to you to figure out what's the best way to transport this oil back to your hotel where your computer will be, because you can't bring electronic devices onto the oil field. So you're going to take it back to your hotel, and you're going to go ahead and lather up your laptop with that grease. You're going to go ahead and comment in the YouTube video with that grease and lather up that algorithm. We're going to grease up that rhythm with that very expensive, rich, full oil. And that's going to help, grease up the algorithm. It's going to help make the fastest growing podcast grow even faster. And then you can just enjoy Saudi Arabia. Enjoy the sights and sounds. Al-Walid bin Talal is a great host, and he'll take care of you. And by the time you get back, we'll probably be ready for episode 55. So, guys, let's get into the week. What happened this week? I went to Coachella. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. It was hot as fuck, as always. A absorbent amount of walking, per usual. But I enjoyed myself, I was not in GA. Me? GA? No shot. I don't do if it's GA, I don't do it. Something about me. If I gotta wait in line, I'm going home. I'm just not gonna do it, right? So we had artist passes. Really, as is the case in most things, the food was the highlight. I fucking love eating, and there was a lot of really good food there. I saw a lot of great artists. To name a few, I saw No Doubt. I saw Ice Spice. She fucking rock star, killed it. Tyler, the Creator, killed it. Young Miko, killed it. I saw a shitload of artists. I'm not going to sit here and name all of them. I didn't see Doja Cat. I left Sunday morning. Could not do 3 days. It's like Vegas, in and out. I don't got to be there for all 3 days. It's just too much. Right now, the NFL draft is happening in Detroit. If you're new here, I'm from Detroit. Big Detroit Lions fan. Detroit absolutely fucking rocked it, dude. Set the attendance record. What a great look into the new Detroit for the world to see. And we're going to win the fucking Super Bowl this year. Sorry. What do you want from me? That's it, dude. We're going to win the Super Bowl this year. We should have won it last year. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to win it this year. And that is that on that. Now, you'll see we have a little change of scenery. We got Gengar, still my guest host back here. But we brought Pikachu to the forefront, and he's rocking the Vipers, isn't he? Pikachu said it's time to get serious. He's rocking the Vipers. And maybe a little foreshadowing of something that I have up my sleeve as I take a sip of this unbranded water. We're planning some fun stuff. I might even drop a teaser this week, but we're going to start rolling out merch. It's time. It's time to bring back merch. And we're not only going to bring back merch, but we're going to bring back bullying. That's right. The first merch drop, the phrase that I've trademarked, and I live, breathe, and exude. Bring back bullying. We are going to bring back bullying to those that deserve it. And the first drop, maybe I'll tease a little design on this episode, but you have to be watching on YouTube, of the first merch drop. And there's rumors, I'm not going to confirm or deny these rumors, that I might be working on glasses too. Oh, yeah, something I might be cooking up. All right. Moving on. The album Baño Maria, which I co-wrote 6 of the 10 songs on, debuted at number 9 on Spotify. Turn me up! Turn me the fuck up! They're just all over Times Square right now on billboards. It's fucking lit, dude. I told you guys about Catriel y Paco Amoroso. I told you this album was gonna fucking shake up the Latin music scene. I told you. And wouldn't you know we're doing it? I mean, it is fucking fire. It's the most fun I've ever had making an album. And man, I'm like so proud of this record. It's really, I'm glad the world's enjoying it. I'm excited for more people to enjoy it. And yeah, let's see what else happened. Oh yeah. My $700 pen video really shook up the fucking internet last week. You know, I happened to go viral, as I do, right? And I think one of the reasons it went viral is a couple days prior, I also went viral for making fun of some fucking loser in my comment section on TikTok that A, said my music career was a failure, get real, and B, tried to make fun of my glasses, which as we know is just a losing battle, right? So then I just kind of humbly flexed on him some meaningless music statistics and my glasses collection. And then I made fun of the guy who was like bragging about a $700 pen, and people couldn't see the difference in me spending $20,000 on face jewelry and somebody buying a $700 pen. And I want to be clear, I understand that there's like really nice pens and people collect nice pens, right? But it's the fact that this guy bought, like the reason he bought the pen and was bragging about the pen was like, well, because nobody else has it. I bought this pen because most people don't have it. Like, that's a fucking stupid reason to buy expensive shit. You should buy expensive shit because you like it. And in my case, I bought expensive glasses, and this is an important thing for men to understand. Fellas, we don't have a lot of things to accessorize with like women do. So there's nothing wrong with buying some face jewelry, right? A lot of guys don't feel comfortable holding bags. Now I can, because I don't give a fuck with people, I don't care. And all men should be comfortable holding bags, but a lot of them aren't. And if you're not, and maybe you don't want to drop 30 grand on a watch or whatever, you don't even like watches, but you want to get the face jewelry, right? Anyway, whole debate ensued. People saying that pens and face jewelry is the same thing. People trying to say that writing utensils and jewelry are an equal investment and do the same thing. You can't bring your pen out and about with you unless you're twirling it around your fucking hand like a dork, right? Or putting it in your pencil holder, which nobody does in 2024. Okay? I shouldn't have to explain fashion to people or style to people, but apparently I do, and maybe that's why God put me on this earth and made me do a podcast so I could spread the good word about men embracing style and fashion and not just chalking it up to thinking that buying nice things is a waste of money that you wear. Okay? Moving on. I'm about to fucking rant, dude. I'm about to go on a rant. I'm about to go on a biblical rant. Let me take a sip of water. Oh, let me rev up my rant engine. Rant. About to go. If you're standing up, you better sit down. I was on TikTok the other day, and I saw, and I'm not gonna show this video because I don't want to embarrass this person. They don't know what they're doing is wrong, I don't think, and there is a chance that. Let me just get into it. I saw some girl on TikTok talk about why can't people resist my Tism Rizz? And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So like the video ensues. She's talking about autism. Her autism Rizz. And I just started like, when did autism become a quirky personality trait? When did Gen Z decide that neurodivergent disorders are just quirky personality traits? Everybody has fucking autism now? Everybody has autism? Everyone's a little bit on the spectrum? Huh, news to me. Guys, autism is not a quirky personality trait. It's a real disorder. Okay? Like, I'm seeing words like acoustic and neurospicy and got a touch of the tism. Motherfuckers throwing it around. These are terms that the actual neurodivergent community developed to reclaim power. And as a society, we've all kind of gained a larger understanding of autism, which is great. The problem is shows like Love on the Spectrum, which are supposed to highlight, like, hey, autistic people, you know, these are things like they're people too, and they should find love, and they're great people, and let's eliminate the stigma of mental disorders and neurodivergent disorders. Instead, I got a bunch of fucking boring people on the internet trying to spice up their gray personality by acting like they have a splash of autism. Like, you don't have a splash of the tism just because you like video games. Okay? You're not on the spectrum because you hyperfixate on being organized. You're not on the spectrum because you want your desk to be neat when you're working. Okay? Like a few years ago, it was depression, then it was anxiety, now everybody's autistic. Like I have been wanting to fucking talk about this for so long, and I don't give a fuck anymore. I know I got to be careful and I got to tiptoe, and I don't give a fuck, dude. The mental health crisis is very real in this country, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are not interesting, that don't belong to a community, that don't have anything worth giving a fuck about because they haven't cultivated it. They haven't built it. They are then clinging to these disorders so they can have something to talk about and belong and seem interesting. I know this is going to feel like a little like, whoa. And please use your fucking brain. I'm not talking about people that actually have these disorders, okay? But you know when you were a kid and like you had a friend who just lied about shit? or like people in general that lie, which is a lot of people, most of the time you're lying not to get out of something. You're lying because you want to be interesting and you don't have anything to talk about. And that's what we're seeing. Like, motherfuckers are on the internet collecting neurological disorders like Pokemon cards. It's insane to me. They're like, oh, I got a first edition OCD. Well, that's just my anxiety. Well, I can't really speak in front of large groups because I have anxiety. And well, I can't speak in front of large groups because I have crippling OCD, and I actually want to look at the people I'm talking to, and so I'll hyperfixate on one person that I'm talking to. You're just a normal person. Most people can't talk in front of large groups of people. Most people hyperfixate on something that they're... Yeah, I can actually name all 151 original Pokemon because, I got a little splash of the Tism. Those are just my autistic superpowers, I guess. No, dude, you're just a fucking regular nerd like me that grew up on Pokemon. No. You're just a regular adult nerd that is clinging to their youth like me. And like, people love to self-diagnose themselves with anxiety or OCD or a touch of the Tism because there's some sort of like foggy, hard to prove reason to call yourself special. And it's and because gaining actual skills and cultivating a fucking interesting personality is time consuming, ambitious, often difficult. It's much easier to just feel unique and depressed because you are lazy and don't want to go do stuff. So you self-diagnose yourself with depression. Now you're actually depressed because you're telling yourself you're fucking depressed, okay? Again, mental health is a very complicated field, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm a doctor, okay? Because I'm not. But like, my cousin has autism. I grew up around autism. His mother, my aunt, was like an advocate for autism awareness and mental health. I grew up around people being really fucking mean, okay? And I'm so happy to see that autism is getting the awareness that it deserves, that in general, people that have mental disorders, like comedians like Shane Gillis, are like destigmatizing Down syndrome, and all that shit is great. And all these shows that are coming out, like Love on the Spectrum, that is great. But holy fucking shit, I'm going to ram my head through a wall if I have to get on TikTok one more time and see some person that's not on the spectrum try to hint at the fact that, well, maybe I am a little autistic because I'm so, because my closet is organized by color. I'm so quirky and interesting. Will somebody date me? Can somebody give a fuck about me? In an age where everybody is fighting for attention, and it is getting harder and harder to get even minimum wage of attention, TikTok has become a fucking barren... It's not just TikTok. Social media has become a barren wasteland of look-at-me's. Insufferable. And I don't want to sound like I'm harping on Gen Z and Gen Alpha, but the way that these generations have grown up, I'm so blessed. All the jokes that millennials get, we're so blessed to have grown up in a time where we at least got some attention growing up. While we were in like the super important nurturing phase of our development, we had real attention and IRL, and now, and it was easier to get attention. And this is foreshadowing for something we're going to talk about later, but the social media apps that we grew up on were actual social media apps where you engaged with your social community of your friends. And the difference is now, it's not the way social media is. You're not really engaging with your friends anymore. You're like sending videos to your friends on social media that you think are funny, but you're not really engaging with your friends on social media. You are in a fucking fight to the death for attention and engagement. It is Squid Games for engagement. And it is so bad now that people are getting on Taylor Swift's internet and are acting like they are on the spectrum because being autistic is in style now. I mean, what level of hell is this? It's remarkable. Oh my God, man. I mean, ironically, so many people are pretending to have autism. It's like more unique when someone claims not to be autistic nowadays. Fucking unbelievable, dude. And now that I've pointed it out, if you haven't noticed it before, you're going to start noticing it. I'm telling you. Neurospicy. My Tism Rizz. Dude. Tism Rizz. Put a loaded gun into my mouth, okay? Let's shift gears, yeah? Let me fucking calm down. Let's talk science. It has been brought to my attention that there is an asteroid that is barreling towards Earth. No, just kidding. But there is an asteroid in the sky, in space, called 16 Psyche. Asteroid 16 Psyche. And it is a unique celestial body in our solar system that could potentially reshape our understanding of planetary formation and economic value in space. Why? Well, it's worth 10,000 quadrillion dollars in material. Let me say that again. Asteroid 16 Psyche, which is the first, how do I word this in a way that makes, okay, so let's talk about it first, and then I can explain why this is so crazy. Okay, so Asteroid 16 Psyche is located in the main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, okay? Now, 16 Psyche stands out as one of the most massive objects in its category because it's composed of metal. So most asteroids are composed of rock or ice, but 16 Psyche is made entirely out of metal, predominantly iron and nickel. And this composition likens it more to the core of a planet rather than a typical asteroid. So what scientists think happened is like it was once like a regular planet, right? And then basically it's believed that during the formation of the solar system, Psyche, as a developing protoplanet, was struck by another celestial body, okay, which stripped away its mantle and crust and leaving behind the metallic core. So Earth is made of metallic, most planets, right, are composed of a metallic core, other than like Neptune and like those gaseous planets. But this planet, metallic core, and then you've got a mantle, and then you've got crust, right? If you didn't pay attention in science, I don't blame you. I didn't either, but I remember some of this shit. So the thought is this planet was fucking in space, and then another planet was like fucking, whoa, not paying attention, crashed into it, and hit it so hard that it literally stripped away all the other bullshit and just left the core. Okay? Now, this is important because scientists have never really been able to study the core of a planet to learn about the core of our own planet because it's so fucking hot. You can't study any of the material or find out how it's formed because all the scientific fucking, utensils, if you will, the $700 pens would melt. It's too hot. Well, this is obviously fucking frozen in space. So we are launching a satellite, which is also called Psyche, at the fucking, it's going to take like years to do this, forever. We'll probably forget about it by the time that it is happening. It will no longer be interesting. But it's a relic, which is a trove of metal, in the cosmos, and it is worth 10,000 quadrillion dollars worth of material. Okay? So we're just going, apparently, the US and NASA, we're just going there to study it. I think we're going to try to figure out how to get some of that metal. Yeah? I wouldn't be surprised if the goal at some point is, how can we fucking mine this thing? You know? Let's bring some of them shekels over to the United States of America. Yeah, so that's science. That concludes the science portion of today's GNN news segment. And if that bored you, go fuck yourself. Now we're going to shift over to business. Something huge happened in the business world. Huge. Monumental. Not exaggerating. The FTC has implemented a new rule to ban non-competes. Non-compete clauses have been banned and will go into effect, I believe, end of this year. So if you know what if you don't know what a non-compete is, basically when you sign on to a company, especially like a tech company or an emerging new company that's got some like new tech or whatever, really any company, you have to sign a non-compete clause. This doesn't just affect business. This affects like news anchors, online personnel. Like if you're at a company, especially if you're pretty early in that company, you're signing a non-compete clause. And it prevents you from getting another job at a competing company, pretty much, or doing anything in that field. The purpose of the rule to ban the non-competes is to enhance competition, increase worker freedom to change jobs, boost innovation, and support new business formation. They predict that non-compete clauses have been suppressing wages, hinder new ideas, and diminish economic dynamism. Dynamism. That's your word for the day. Eliminating non-competes is expected to increase the average worker earnings by $524 a year and lower healthcare costs by up to $194 billion over 10 years. Most importantly, the ban is projected to result in a 2.7% annual increase in new business creation, translating to over 8,500 new startups annually. It could also lead to an increase of new patents. This is a big fucking deal, man. As someone who works in tech and emerging technologies in music and other things, it's a big fucking deal. It's kind of like the first worker-friendly piece of legislation that's passed on the federal level in a very long time. And the new rule, so basically here's the scope of it. It broadly prohibits non-competes, which affects around 30 to 40 million workers. And the exception of this rule are senior executives who retain, basically they retain their existing non-competes. So there cannot be any more non-competes ever made. I think it's September or October. But existing non-competes do continue to exist if you're an executive making like $250,000 or more a year. But everybody else's non-competes, gone. So yeah, if you're in a non-compete clause, great news. Not anymore. Wait till the fall. But pretty big deal. Good news for competition. Okay, moving on. More technology talk. I saw something on the way here that Apple came out and said, swiping apps closed slows down the iPhone and will deteriorate your iPhone. So these motherfuckers, Apple had the nerve to come out and say that swiping apps closed actually drains more battery than just leaving them running in the background. And my question for Apple, come here, come closer. Do you think we're fucking stupid? Do you think that and now it's just me and you, Tim Cook, do you think I'm fucking stupid? Because it seems to me that you think that I'm fucking stupid. You're telling me that being on my iPhone, oh no, I have 20 apps running. Let me close them so that I only have 2 apps running now. That takes up more battery than if I just let 20 apps run in my background on my phone? No. Bullshit. You know why they said this, right? Because they want the apps to listen in the background and collect data. You might not realize this, but most of the apps on your phone are A, collecting your data, B, listening to your conversations, collecting data, and Apple is getting paid to collect that data. The more data that is collected on iPhone, the more money that Apple makes. So, of course they want all these apps running in your background. So how do you stop people from closing apps and letting them run in the background? You tell people a way to preserve their battery life. And you lie. I mean, just unethical fucking scumbags. All these companies, dude. It's hilarious. On the heels of the TikTok ban, our first story, our main story, which we'll be talking about. Like, you're telling me closing an app takes more battery life and fucks up my phone more than it running in the background, grabbing location services, background refresh, which most apps have on by default until you turn it off. Fuck out of here, dude. Fuck out of here. Let's get into our main story here. We're going to talk about the TikTok ban. I know we just talked about the TikTok ban, and I foreshadowed and pretty much called what was going to happen, that they were going to bundle that bill to make everybody vote for it. And lo and fucking behold, everybody voted in the TikTok ban. Passed with decisiveness. I mean, it fucking passed with flying colors. So basically, long story short, in this big package deal that passed, if you're just now catching up, TikTok ruled, or Congress ruled TikTok to force the divestment of TikTok by parent company ByteDance, giving them 1 year to complete a sale. And oh yeah, by the way, we sent $95 billion in taxpayer money overseas to Israel and Ukraine. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was in the deal too. Right. Oh, right. The main part of the deal was that. They did it. We did it, Joe. We did it. We banned the one free speech tool left. We did it, Joe. They want to control free speech. My conspiracy theory, I think there's some kind of a coup going on to get Steve Mnuchin to buy it. If you remember Steve Mnuchin, Steve Mnuchin. I don't even know how to say his fucking name. The guy that looks like a fucking toad. He's like a former Treasury Secretary or some shit. He's putting a group together to try to buy it. They're colluding. I don't know. Long story short, they're trying to ban it. I want to say one thing first before we get into why I don't think it's even going to get banned. But Democrats. What the fuck are you guys doing? What are they doing? You guys know I'm independent, right? I don't play a side. I think they're all idiots. Democrats. What are you fucking morons doing? The only thing you have, the only chance you have in this election is TikTok. It's all you have. The only way you're going to drag this fucking corpse that is Joe Biden across the finish line and find a way to trick young voters to be motivated to go vote for this useless fuck. The only thing you have, the only tool at your disposal is TikTok. And you voted to ban it? Oh, it's not a ban. It's a force. Shut the fuck up. It doesn't even matter what it is. You voted to ban it. Your audience is on it and loves it. And you unanimously damn near voted to take it away from them. To, oh yeah, by the way, send $95 billion to Israel and Ukraine. Also, you guys are fucking idiots. Now what? Are you going to go on? You're going to go on Twitter? You're going to campaign on Elon Musk's free speech machine? The Republicans own Twitter. Oh, it's fine. Just go over to Facebook. Oh, you can't do that? Because Steve Bannon and the Republicans, they're still controlling Facebook. Your father's still seeing, your uncle's still seeing January 6th propaganda on there, in that fucking dinosaur exhibit. What are you guys doing? You guys are fucking clueless. I mean, the Democrats have been outclassed every step of the way for the past decade. It's a fucking blowout, dude. You want to know why the Democratic Party's in shambles? Because you guys are fucking idiots. We need more young voters. So you go out and take the one thing away from them that they enjoyed most, where the most effective messaging can reach them. The only speakerphone that they have left. And you vote against that. Republicans don't need TikTok. They don't give a fuck about TikTok. They run Twitter, dude. They have legacy media. They have Facebook. They don't care. They don't need TikTok. And, oh, by the way, the for sale, it's going to go to Steve Mnuchin, who's a Republican, who served on Trump's cabinet. What are you guys doing? Is anybody running the fucking show over there? Chess, not checkers. These motherfuckers are playing tic-tac-toe, dude. Or as Nancy Pelosi puts it, tic-tac-toe. Tic-tac, tic-tac-toe. Get it? TikTok. By the way, Nancy Pelosi, I'm sure made a fucking killing this month on Metastock. Some senator bought $700,000 in Metastock and then voted to ban TikTok. You tell me how you explain that to me, please. Go ahead and break that down to me. What's his fucking name? I want to drag him. Invest in Meta, ban TikTok. I'm just searching. I'm just Googling. This might take too long. Already over it. Already bored. Moving on. Okay. Rant aside, I don't think it's going to work. I'm not worried. I don't think TikTok's going to get banned. A few reasons why. One, the bill is rushed and it's limited. It's fucking lazy legislation. It is literally packaged in a bunch of other shit. It's just not very enforceable. Okay. I want to revisit the Montana case. Do you guys remember when Montana tried to ban TikTok? Okay. So in law, I'm not a lawyer, neither are you, but something they say all the time in law, you look at old cases to set precedent for future cases. The Montana case is a great example of what happens when you try to ban TikTok. Montana tried to ban TikTok, the state. It failed. Okay. By the way, I don't think Montana exists. You guys know that. I don't think it's a real place. But allegedly, there's a place called Montana that people live in. And they tried to ban TikTok. It didn't work. The judge of this imaginary state said that doing so, banning TikTok, would violate the First Amendment. And the state could not prove that there was any security risks or that it was harming users. Remember this. It's going to be important for later. Okay? This ruling made it clear that Americans have the right, per the First Amendment, to give their data to whoever they want and to consume whatever kind of propaganda that they want, even if it's anti-USA. This is the First Amendment. You don't get to pick and choose when the First Amendment applies. Okay? Okay, U.S. government? That's why it's in the Constitution. That's why they put it there. The other thing, China needs to divest TikTok. China doesn't even own TikTok. How have we not communicated this yet? How is this the first time that you've heard this? Because it probably is for most people that watch the show. 60% of TikTok is owned by global investors, including Americans. There's a guy named Jeff Yaz, who's one of the richest people in the fucking world. He owns 15% of the fucking company by himself. He lives in Philly. He's probably an Eagles fan. 3 of the 5 board seats on the TikTok board are Americans. The other 2, one of which is ByteDance CEO, who's Singaporean, lives in Singapore. The other is Neil Shen, who does live in Hong Kong, but he works for the American capital company Sequoia. And he lives in Hong Kong because, like, hella people that work in finance live in Hong Kong. So who's divesting? The founder? Who retired? And, like, still owns 20% of the stock and has no connection with the CCP and is just fucking chilling? Just chilling? Is that who needs to sell the company? He doesn't even know. He's a minority stakeholder. So that's another reason it's not going to get divested, because who the fuck is divesting, dude? But most importantly, the real reason, the main reason that TikTok's not going to get banned, because the government has more of an uphill battle than TikTok does here. TikTok is going to file a lawsuit, okay? So here's what's going to happen. The corpse of Joe Biden is going to sign this law into effect. And then probably that same day or the next day, TikTok is going to file a lawsuit in federal court alleging constitutional violations, particularly the First Amendment. Congress is going to have to come forward with real evidence that free speech needs to be restricted. The government's going to have to come forward with real evidence that proves that China is stealing America's data and prove the threat is legit. That's right. They're going to have to prove it. And guess what? They already tried to prove it in Montana. Remember, I talked about this about 2 minutes ago, and they couldn't prove anything. If you watched last week's episode, you would know that TikTok has a $2 billion security data center in Texas dedicated to securing Americans' data. They have regular audits by Oracle and other third-party auditors. They're not going to find anything. And so what's going to happen here is this lawsuit will take years to shake out. And if they do, for some reason, vote TikTok out, they'll appeal, and it'll take more years. This is going to take so goddamn long. Not to mention lawsuits at the state level, class action lawsuits. This is going to take so long. They are trying to squeeze TikTok and strong arm them into selling the company to Steve Mnuchin, whatever his fucking name is. And they're not gonna. And this ban is probably not gonna really happen. Now, I don't know. Maybe they will sell. Maybe the coup will be successful. Maybe Steve Mnuchin and his group will buy TikTok. And if they do, it's time to find a new app. The app's gonna fucking suck. All right. Let's get into everyone's favorite segment, yeah? The FOH HOF. The fuck out of here Hall of Fame. This week, we've got a few fun videos, yeah? This first video is brought to you by 3 super white guys.
Is it okay for white people to sing the N-word in rap songs as long as they're alone in their car commuting to work?
Do they have hate in their heart?
They're singing a song.
They're just singing the song, and they're by themselves. They don't use this word to attack black folks.
Correct.
It's hard to say you're not allowed to just do that in your car, right? I mean, I don't know. I guess the question would be if I apply it to myself as a Jewish person. Imagine that there was a song with the K word. Would it be okay if it's in the song? It's not even a good analogy because the K word hasn't been taken back by Jewish people in the way that there's been an attempt.
We should.
It's so hard to make an analogy. I do not have an opinion about what people do in the privacy of their cars if it really is private.
You plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Can white people say the N-word? Let's ask the 3 whitest guys in the world. What do you guys think? Hey, let's get a podcast. Let's set up a podcast studio and let's ask the 3 whitest people on the planet. Do you think it's okay if white people say the N-word in their car? Do they have hate in their heart? Dude, give me a fucking break, please. I mean, this to film this and then also put it on the internet is crazy to me. We got to watch this one more time.
Is it okay for white people to sing the N-word in rap songs as long as they're alone in their car commuting to work?
Do they have hate in their heart?
They're singing a song.
They're just singing the song, and they're by
Dude,
them.
why did they show this random video of this white guy singing in his car? Dude, I'd be mad as fuck if they picked that clip of me and put it in this video. He's like, I was singing Journey. I didn't say the N-word. They just made this white guy look like he's saying the N-word in his car.
They don't use this word
And
to
this
attack
guy.
black
No,
folks.
correct.
It's hard to say.
They're not using this word to attack black folks. They don't have hate in their heart. They're just singing a song. Hey, white people, let's talk, yeah? If you're black and you're watching this, you can just skip to the next segment. If you're black and you're watching this on TikTok or Instagram, you can just swipe. White people, let's have a talk. We're going to put on the Pit Vipers for this one, yeah? It's time to get serious. Sorry, Pikachu, let me just have these for a second. Okay. White people, I'm begging you. Don't expose yourself in my comment section. Don't do it. Don't get in my comment section defending this, because the internet is forever. And if you do say the N-word in your car when you're singing a rap song, keep it to yourself. Keep it there. What happens in your Kia stays in your Kia. Do not get on the internet and make yourself look like a fucking clown like these guys. I don't have an opinion. Well, I do. White people, just don't say it. Just don't say it. What are you, like a fucking 12-year-old kid that just heard the word on a D12 song? And you're just in your room like giddy, like, N-word. I'm going to type it on the internet today. What are you in a Call of Duty lobby still? Just stop saying it. Well, if black people can say it, well, why did black people reclaim the word and try to make it? Well, if they say it in a song, they want me. Shut the fuck up. Just don't say it. It's so easy. It's not a political thing. It's not a woke thing. It's just a fucking loser versus not a fucking loser thing. That's all it is. Okay? Are you racist if you say the N-word while you're rapping a rap song? And maybe not. I don't know. But you are a fucking idiot if you get on the internet and defend it. Are you racist if you're a huge fucking fan of Future and all your friends are black and you have no hate in your heart for black people and you just want to rap the song and you want to say the N-word? Can you say it? Sure, you can say it. You shouldn't. Just don't say it. And whatever you do, don't get on the internet and say that you say it. And don't get in my comment section and defend people saying it, because guess what that means? That means you say it. And that means you're getting on the internet and telling everybody, hey, I say the N-word. White guy right here. I say it. That's what you're doing. Don't do that. And just don't say it. It's so easy. It's not it's over. All right, Pikachu, you can have these back. How's he look? Oh, God, he looks so fucking fly, dude. Iced Coffee Hour is the podcast that did this. I mean, how are these guys? I don't know. I don't want to sound like a hater. Get fucking real. And we're not gonna talk about like the Jewish thing. Well, the K word. It's like someone saying the K word. Yeah, it kind of is like that. You probably wouldn't be stoked if they were, right? But you know what white people love doing, dude? They love comparing racial slurs. Like I'm Italian, like, oh, it's like somebody saying Dago. Oh, it's like somebody rapping Guinea in a song. No, it's not. It's not like that. And I don't have to explain to you. I should not still have to explain to you as an adult why it's different. What about cracker? I don't have to explain that to you, right? Still? 37-year-old man, you need to hear that still? Moving on. This guy has been on the show before. And he's back with an absolute banger. Here we go.
God wants you to be rich because he wants you to be successful, because he wants you to progress, because he wants you to be happy. There's never a time that you're going to return and go, I was broke and poor, and he's going to go, good job, man. There's no nobility in being poor. The best version of you is becoming like me, your Father, God. And if God were to come down here, he would create a business that would make money, that would provide for him, and he would be crazy successful at it. He just would. So if that's who he is and I'm heir to him, why can't I have those same things?
Dude, fuck yeah. God would run an MLM for sure. If God came down right now, if God descended from the heavens right now, he would be a dropshipper. For sure. You know, you guys remember the Bible. God and all of his disciples, the Christ Capital Club. You remember that in the Bible, right? If God came back right now, he would have a course in his bio, and he would tell you to take your shirt off. I tell you what, if God came back right now, he definitely would wake up at 3 a.m. The book of Numbers is all about putting numbers on the board. Did you guys read the book of Numbers? It's in the Bible, dude. God doesn't want you to be poor. I remember when Jesus turned water into ace of spades to celebrate closing his third commercial real estate property in Jerusalem. You remember that? It's in the Bible. The rapture is literally just going to be God coming back to take all the landlords and billionaires and entrepreneur bros. That's all it's going to be left. That's the rapture. If you're poor, you're going to get left behind. Oh, you're middle class? Enjoy tribulations. Oh, you don't? You're not a part of the Capital Club? Cool. There's 4 horsemen that are coming. Get ready for them. Enjoy that. There's no nobility in being poor. Dude, that's the funniest. God would work his ass off. Dude, God literally rested on the 7th day. God like created heaven and the stars and Adam and Eve, and then he rested. He fucking kicked his feet up and had a beer. You know? There's no nobility in being poor. God don't even let you into heaven if you don't have 4 streams of income. Jesus was 33 when he died. You want to guess how many homes he had? You want to guess how many homes Jesus had before? That's right. He had 10. This guy is so fucking out of touch, man. These people are literally Delulu. delusional.
God wants you to be rich because he wants you to be successful, because he wants you to progress, because he wants you to be happy. There's never a
Okay. The Bible directly contradicts everything this guy's saying. You can't be an entrepreneur, bro, and also try to use the Bible as propaganda for your grift. It's not going to work because the Bible directly contradicts this. Have you ever heard the story of Job? Okay. Job was a wealthy entrepreneur, and God literally killed 10 of his children. 10 of his children. All of his sheep. All of his servants. God just, it's in the Bible. The devil came to God and was like, hey, this Job guy claims to be a believer in you. Let's test him. I'm going to kill 10 of his kids and his income, which is his sheep. And then I'm going to kill all of his servants too. He's going to have nothing. That cool with you? And God was like, yeah, let's test him. Okay. Then, after that, Job was like, this is horrible. Why would God, but I still believe in you. Then Satan was like, hey, he still kind of believes in you. I'm going to put sores all over his body. What do you think about that? What if we just covered him in sores to test him, to test his faith? And God said, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. I want to see if he's really faithful to me. So then Satan put sores all over his body. If God did Job like that, I'm pretty sure he's going to take away your helicopter. I'm pretty sure he's going to strip that Richard Mille off your wrist. Like, these guys don't live in a normal plane of existence, okay? They're in their own cult. They believe their own propaganda. I want to be clear. I don't think money is bad. I'm a Christian, right? And I definitely want to get filthy rich too. And I'm actively working towards getting filthy rich myself. But I don't think God's going to be stoked about it, right? Kind of the whole thing, like, we're all sinners. We sin. One of my sins is that I want to be gluttonous and make a bunch of money. So I can be gluttonous and buy more face jewelry and travel the world. And I'm a Christian. God's not going to be stoked. Both these things can exist. Okay? So if you're a dirtbag entrepreneur bro, social media guy, grifting your audience of morons into giving you money, just be that. Don't also try to be a devout Catholic Christian. And so, he's actually Mormon, which makes a lot of sense. This guy's Mormon. But give me a fucking break, dude. The Lord is not going to come down and pat you on the back for your pyramid scheme. Okay? The Lord is not going to come down and go, my child, I'm so proud of you. Can you point me in the direction of the best commercial real estate in the Phoenix area? Or maybe in Utah? My son, I'm looking to, and I'm looking for an arbitrage opportunity. Could you maybe point me in the direction? Okay, last video. Man, this is, just brace yourself, yeah? Here we go.
Good morning, my name is Glitch, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some light codes in the form of light language. Now, light language is a language that is spoken, channeled from source consciousness, that are different energies and different coding that like help form you like subconsciously and help your energies in your auric field and within in different ways. Today, the light codes are going to be for awakening and healing. They're very basic kind of energies. So if you'd like to receive this, you can say yes. If no, then just scroll away and go to the next post. Shikatola hapa sana kaseto kopa shala da kitsanda patukona sekite ko ola chata kipa ona sata ikata kapata shata pa ona setike papa lopata siko oshuna pakala sinaka sata kola shumpati ko pola shata kita ko hunatito kopa pizza. Thank you for receiving and happy birthday.
Happy birthday. My birthday's in March. What kind of Harry Potter spell was this? You saw my laptop start levitating. What Harry Potter spell was this? Please shower bra leviosa. I mean, look at this guy, dude. What's the light code for shampoo? Bro's dreads are so ratted that it probably feels like one of those old mops that the janitors used to use in high school. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I mean, I know that car smells like a body's decomposing in the trunk. You can see it. You can see by the seats, you know? Oh, man. I mean, yikes, dude. Let me put on the Pit Vipers, actually, to block these light codes from entering my... Sorry, Pikachu, let me just take these real quick. I mean, look at this guy. What are light codes? I'm about to have a fucking seizure, dude. Thank God I don't have epilepsy. Getting all those light codes he was throwing at me. Yo, Glitch, you got any light codes for 15% off my DoorDash order for tonight? Look at this guy.
Good morning, my name is Glitch, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some light codes.
Bro eats fentanyl for breakfast. Fentanyl O's. Dude, this video is actually crazy. Why does he look like the Burning Man final boss?
Good morning, my name is Glitch, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some light codes in the form of light language.
Of course he's
now,
got
light language is a language that is spoken, channeled from source consciousness that are different energies and different coding that like help form you like subconsciously and
Just
help your
putting words
energies in
together.
your auric field and within.
Making up words.
In different ways.
Auric field.
Today, the light codes are going to be for awakening and healing. They're very basic kind of energies. So if you'd like to receive this, you can say yes. If no, then just scroll away and go to the next post.
He's so wholesome. Dude, why is he talking like Jabba the Hutt? Tell me he doesn't sound like Jabba the Hutt. He's speaking Huttese in the Star Wars film. And like what? This is actually sign language for who's got some ketamine. Man, this is a tough watch. He's like speaking in tongues, but like one of those tongues with the yellowish white gunk on it that hasn't been scrubbed. He's speaking in those tongues, you know? Like when someone opens their mouth and you're like, oh, dude, you know when you brush your teeth, you're supposed to brush your tongue, right? That's the kind of tongue that he's speaking in. This guy, man. What is up with all these like white people popping? What's that girl? Took a little bit of acid, a little bit of shrooms. You know that girl? Let me find this. Hold on.
Took a little bit of acid, little bit of shrooms. Did that tree just talk or was it you? I can feel the sun on my skin. Feel my face melting. Existential bliss. Oh my God.
Dude, that's the first song you hear when you get to hell. If you're a poor person, you know, and you can't get into heaven because, you know, there's no nobility in being poor. When you get to St. Peter, he sends you down the elevator to hell, and you get there. This is playing in the elevator on the way down.
Took a little bit of acid, little bit of shrooms.
And you even see Shannon Blake.
Did that tree just talk or was it you? I can feel the sun in my skin. Feel my face melting.
I mean, what is that music? Anyway, that's what this kid listens to for sure. They actually would be a cute couple. We should do some matchmaking with them. It's like Love on the Spectrum, but instead of the spectrum, It's just light love on the light codes. Just a touch of the tism, just a little bit of tism in there. Maybe he's got a touch of the tism. What's crazy is that this guy's vote is worth the same as mine. And that's something feels wrong about that. Maybe we do need to revisit the Constitution. Maybe Congress is onto something. I mean, this kid took so much acid that he's got acid reflux. And it's just coming out in the form of whatever the fuck language he's speaking. Hola, katala satala, light code, la saka. Took a little bit of acid, little bit of shroom, alakata. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week's episode, guys. I want to thank you for listening. Yeah, let's take off the Pit Vipers and wrap this up. Here you go, Pikachu. I want to thank my guest this week. Oh, fuck. They're all fucked up. Come on, dude. Lock in. That's good enough. I want to thank my guest, Pikachu, this week. And I want to thank you for listening. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, here's what you need to do. You need to like, subscribe, save it to your device. Okay, delete all those fucking selfies. You look like shit. Just delete them so you have room. If you're watching on YouTube, and you should be watching on YouTube, if you have any leftover grease from the oil field number 7 that was discovered in 1938, that Al-Walid bin Talal oil, go ahead and lather that up one more time in the comment section. Grease up that rhythm on the way out. Like it, subscribe, and get ready for next week's episode because, guys, it's going to be another fun one next week. I'm going to India next week, so I'm going to have to figure out if I'm going to record an episode before I leave for India or if we're going to take a week off. I don't know. Stay tuned. We'll find out. But until next week, as the world continues to crumble into this abyss of nothingness, as the asteroid worth $10,000 quadrillion of metals barrels towards Earth and hopefully just fucking wipes us out, I want to thank you for listening. We're going to send it off with everyone's favorite song, the AI Good Luck theme song. Until next week, good night and good luck.
Everybody listen close. There's a brand new show that you gotta know. It's called Good Luck with Gino.
That's me.
It's gonna get you moving, get you in the zone. Good luck, good vibes, good times with Gino by your side. You'll be feeling fine. Every week he's gonna bring the hype. Woo! So come on, let's go tune in online.
Hold that note, AI. Hold that note. Bitch.